This one is the 28th session of Industrial Economics, and this session is related to the impact of liberalization and privatization on SSI sector. So first of all, introduction. Before we dig deeper into the impact of globalization, let us know what is exactly it means. The word globalization refers to the opening of borders and the strengthening of mutually beneficial relationships between countries, allowing for the free flow of goods and services. So that is about the introduction. The next part is impact of globalization. There are many advantages when the doors are opened for small businesses, but we can witness a negative impact of globalization on small businesses also. Let us have a look at the effects of globalization. So first of all, advantages of globalization for small businesses. They can be explained as follows. The first point, scope of market increases. Although not every company can sell a commodity to the far reaches of the globe, there is something to be said about investing in and operating in markets where the disadvantages of the local businesses no longer spell doom for the individual properties. Second one, expansion of business. Certain companies need the opportunity to appeal to the large audience. It may be as easy as becoming a big fish in a small pond, or as complex as filling a niche that literally cannot exist in the static position for long without going under. But globalization and sufficient attempts to open up trade lines have resulted in business networks that could not have sustained themselves even a century ago. Third, easy and budgeted marketing. Being unable to finance global marketing in the past was both anticipated and a natural limitation of the environment we lived in. Nowadays, due to the internet and the relative simplicity of marketing that comes with social media and global and targeting, there is little to do reason for not having a company's name out in the open. Even the smallest business will benefit from data collection tools and methods. Fourth point, employment personnel all across the world. Globalization has also impacted the availability of remote workers in other parts of the world, whereas it used to be that small companies could only have physical workers. They can now have employees employed in offices on the other side of the globe. Next one, equalizing businesses. Everything has become fairer as a result of globalization. Every business now has access to marketing resources, business knowledge, and everything else they need to compete with larger, more developed companies. Thanks to the internet, that's one of the reasons Uber and other tech companies grew so quickly. The corporate world has become much more equal in recent years, allowing small businesses to thrive. So there are some disadvantages also of globalization. These can be explained with the following points. The first point is forced reduction in prices. One of the most commonly voiced questions about big businesses' global reach is the trouble smaller companies have competing with large scale consumer goods operations. Almost every country must contend with China's ability to mass export products at rates that are virtually impossible to compete. Next disadvantage is impacts of global market and trade wars. When your business is functioning globally, the global market and the trade wars between countries create an impact on small businesses as well. You may import raw materials from some country or export your final products to other country. Next disadvantage, increased competition. The competition is next on the list. When the world becomes more globalized, more companies join the market. Because of the accessibility we mentioned earlier, small businesses around the world are facing a lot more competition. There will almost certainly be 10 other companies offering similar goods to the one you are trying to sell. The next part is impact of liberalization on Indian companies. After independence, the government attempted to revive the small scale sector by reserving items exactly for it to manufacture. With liberalization, list of reserved items was substantially curtailed and many new sectors were thrown open to big players. Impact on service sector. In this case, globalization has been boon for the developing countries and bane for developed ones. Due to historic economic disparity between two groups, human resources have been much cheaper in developing countries. Next one, information technology industry. Software, BPO, KPO, LPO industry boom in India has helped India to absorb a big chunk of demographic dividend which otherwise would have wasted. Best part is that the export of services results in the export of high value. There is almost no material exported which consumes some natural resources. Next one, telecom sector. Conventionally, telecom sector was a government owned monopoly and consequently service was quite substandard. After reforms, private telecom sector reached the pinnacle of success and Indian telecom companies went global. However, corruption and rent seeking marred growth and outlook of this sector. Education and health sector. It should be noted that food, that is agriculture, health education, and to less extent banking, are among basic necessities which every human being deserves and can't do without. Unfortunately, in developing countries, there is a market failure in all these sectors, and the majority of people can't afford beyond a certain limit. Concept of free market, globalization, liberalization, etc. fails here miserably. Free markets provide goods and services to people who can afford to pay for them, not to those who deserve and need these. Next part is impact of privatization. Privatization is generic terms refers to the process of transfer of ownership can be of both permanent or long-term lease in nature of a once upon a time state owned or public owned property to individuals or groups that intend to utilize it for private benefits and run the entity with the aim of profit maximization. So advantages of privatization are: the first advantage is state owned enterprises usually are outdone by the private enterprises competitively. When compared, the latter show better results in terms of revenues and efficiency and productivity. Hence, privatization can provide the necessary impetus to the underperforming PSUs. Next advantage is privatization brings about radical structural changes, providing momentum in the competitive sectors. Third one, privatization leads to adoption of the global best practices along with management and motivation of the best human talent to foster sustainable competition advantage and improved management of resources. Next one, privatization has a positive impact on the financial health of the sector, which was previously state dominated by way of reducing the benefits and debts. The net transfer to the state owned enterprises is lowered through privatization. It helps in escalating the performance benchmarks of the industry in general. It can initially have an undesirable impact on the employees, but gradually in the long term shall prove beneficial for the growth and prosperity of the employees. Next advantage is privatized enterprises provide better and prompt services to the customers and help in improving the overall infrastructure of the country. So As an advantages, there are some disadvantages also of privatization, which can be explained as follows. The first disadvantage is private sector focuses more on profit maximization and less on social objectives, unlike public sector that initiates socially viable adjustment in case of emergencies and criticalities. Next disadvantage, there is a lack of transparency in private sector and stakeholders do not get the complete information about the functionality of the enterprise. Next disadvantage, privatization has provided the unnecessary support to the corruption and illegitimate ways to accomplishment of licenses and business deals. So we can summarize this session by saying students are easily understand the impact of liberalization and privatization of on Indian companies.